Death Note is a shonen manga written by Tsugumi Oba and drawn by Takeshi Obata. It was pre-published in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine from December 2003 to May 2006, subsequently published in 12 tankobon from May 2004 to October 2006 by Shusha. Light Yagami is a gifted high school student who judges today's world to be criminal, rotten. His life changes dramatically the day he accidentally picks up a mysterious notebook called Death Note. Its instructions for you say that the person whose name is written in this notebook dies. At first skeptical, Light decides to test the notebook and discovers that his power is very real. He meets the former owner of the Death Note, a god of death named Reek. This one declares to have voluntarily dropped his notebook in order to be entertained. Light decides to use the Death Note to exterminate the criminals, in order to build a perfect world in which he will be the god. He gradually learns to use the powers of the notebook and its rules. The user can only kill a person if he knows his face, by entering his first and last name. He can also specify the cause and the detailed circumstances, the default cause being the heart attack. The many unexplained deaths of criminals around the world attract the attention of Interpol and the mysterious L, a particularly talented detective, but whose identity no one knows. L decides to investigate the serial killer, nicknamed Kara by the general public. The story of Bleach takes place in an alternate version of our world where Shinigami, the Reapers of Souls 3, protect the human species and the souls of the dead from the Hollows, the bestial form of lost souls. This incessant struggle, invisible to the eyes of a very large majority of humans, is carried out in particular with the help of Zanpakuto, spiritual swords linked to their masters who can transform. The story begins in 2001 in Japan in the fictional city of Karakura. 15-year-old high school student Ashiko Kurosaki has been able to see, hear and touch the souls of the dead since he was little. One evening, her daily routine is turned upside down following her encounter with the Shinigami and Rukia Kachiki, and the arrival of a monster called a Hollow. The latter having come to devour the souls of his family and the Shinigami coming to protect him having been injured by his fault, Ishiko accepts to become a Shinigami himself in order to save them. My Hero Academia is a shonen manga written and drawn by Kohei Horikoshi. It has been pre-published since July 2014 in the magazine Weekly Shonen Jump by publisher Shusha, and has 32 volumes to date. The story revolves around 80% of the world's population possess these superpowers, here called alters. We follow the adventures of Izuku Midoriya, Deku, one of the few humans not possessing no alter. Despite this, Izuku dreams of joining the superheroic branch of the Great Yui Academy and one day becoming one of the greatest heroes of his time. One day, Izuku had the chance to meet his lifelong idol, All Might, the #1 superhero. This one will bequeath the Izuku's quirk, the One for All. The first season of 25 episodes aired from April to September 2013, followed by the second season of 12 episodes from April to June 2017. The third season of 22 episodes aired in 2 parts, with the first 12 episodes airing from July to June, October 2018, and the last 10 episodes aired from April to July 2019. The fourth and final season premiered in December 2020, with 16 episodes aired in its first part, and the remaining broadcasts were announced in January 2022. The story revolves around Eren Yeager, a boy who lives in the town of Shiganshina, located farthest from 3 circular walls that protect humanity from titans. In the year 845, the wall was breached by 2 new types of giants, the Giant and the Armor Giant. During the accident, the Titan ate Eren's mother while Eren was running away. He swears revenge on all the Titans and joins the army with his childhood friends, Mikasa Ackerman and Armin Alert. He intends to join the Survey Corps, an expeditionary force that seeks to eliminate the Titans from the walls. Attack on Titan is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hajime Isayama. The plot to Attack Titan centers around a civilization within the three walls, the last place humans still live. Over 100 years ago, humanity was on the verge of extinction after the appearance of human-like giants called Titans, who attack and eat humans as soon as they see them. The last remnants of humanity receded behind three concentric walls and enjoyed nearly a century of peace. To combat the Titans, the state army uses vertical maneuvering equipment, a set of waist-mounted grappling hooks and a gas-powered propulsion system, allowing for massive mobility in 3 dimensions. Is a Japanese animated series created by Sunrise. It's directed by Goro Taniguchi and the script is by Ichiro Okauchi. The character design is the result of the collaboration between the studio Clamp, who drew the sketches of the protagonists, and Takahiro Kimura, responsible for the finalization of these designs and the creator of those of the other characters. The story takes place on August 10, 2010 of the imperial calendar. The Holy Empire of Britain crushed the Japanese forces and occupied the country in less than a month thanks to their new mechanisms called Nightmare. In the defeat, Japan lost its independence and was given the name of Area 11. The Japanese, for their part, lost all their rights and national identity and called it 11. They were moved into ghettos, ceding most of the land to British settlers. However, rebellions are born and Japanese nationalists Conti, a young man named Lelouch, has vowed to destroy the Britannia Empire since his father, the Emperor of Britannia himself, did nothing to hunt down those responsible for the attack that claimed his mother's life and which mutilated his younger sister. 7 years later, during an altercation between a group of 11 rebels and the British Army, he discovers a military secret, a mysterious young girl known only as Cece. Upon contacting her, Lelouch obtains the Jis, the power of kings, which manifests itself in Lelouch by the power of absolute obedience, which allows him to impose his will on anyone who meets his gaze. This power is however limited by the fact that it can only be used once on the same person. Thanks to this power, Lelouch will be able to lead her much-desired fight against Britannia in order to achieve her 2 dreams, to avenge her mother and create a world where her sis,